Cool. So Brenda, how's your day so far?
Pretty good. I went to the gym, so that's
nice.
great.
Got a nice little workout in before. That's awesome.
Yeah, start the day right.
So kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about being a realtor at Keller Williams.
Yeah. So I'm a mom of 4 and I work full time in real estate now. I just left hair, which I was doing for 10 years. So I left in October and yeah, now it's just like full blown real estate. Keller was the best choice for now. I mean, and maybe forever. It's hard to say. But yeah, just because they have so much education and they're super supportive and a lot of agents there to support your listings and whatever you need.
And kind of give pointers here and there.
Yeah.
Very homey kind of environment. Am I picking it up
very
right?
supportive.
Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Being a realtor, let's kind of talk about that a little bit. These services you provide, I know you got buyers, you got sellers, but are there any particular services that you offer to your, I guess, clientele base?
Yeah, for listings, which I'm listing heavy, so I usually offer, the main things that everyone offers is advertisement, right? Photography. I do have a personal cleaner that I send in there to jazz up the place, and sometimes I'll pay a contractor to come in and, if there's anything like that needs buttoned up or fresh paints and stuff like that. So it's helpful to sell a house quicker that way.
Yeah. If you don't have like a little paint chip or something, you have a guy come in and fix all the lights. Yeah.
Right. Just make sure the baseboards are all good, stuff like that.
Right. Becoming a realtor, how did you kind of get into that field?
Actually, I was inspired by someone on Facebook who's actually was a friend from high school, and I'd watch her all the time, and I was like, gosh, she's such a boss. Like, I just want to hang out with her, and get to know her. More than I already did, which was just kind of on we knew each other in high school level. But yeah, so I would always say, hey, what are you doing? Can I come hang out with you? And then eventually she's like, you should just get into real estate. Like, you would be really good at it. And so I'm like, okay. I literally just got my license and just went for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how was
crazy.
So from hairdressing all the way to becoming a realtor, what was the most difficult part of that journey?
I think not being able to give everything to my hair clients. I did notice it started becoming harder to give my all to them and to show up fully. And so that's kind of why I stepped back from that. It was just, and it was exhausting for me as well, working a full day in the salon. On your feet, giving yourself all day to people and letting them pour into you and tell you all their problems, and which I'm super great at handling,
Right.
But it just it was a lot on top of real estate, and then answering my phone because you have to be available 24/7.
Oh.
If you're not available, someone's going to move to the next agent that is available. So, that was the hardest transition for me.
That makes the most sense, but it sounds like you've overcome those pretty easily now, especially now that you're not doing hairdressing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. My phone is always in front of my face, which I'm like, where is it right now? It's next to me. Okay, we're good.
When you decided to become a realtor, it was mostly outside influences, like your friend coming in telling you to do it.
Right.
Was that the tipping point where you're like, okay, let's do it?
Yeah, I think it motivated me, right, to want to do something different. And then when I realized, the potential for, even when it comes down to financially supporting myself and my 4 kids, I figured that out pretty quickly, that it was super doable and I didn't have to rely on anybody or worry about anything. And so that's what really topped the cake. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm the dad now.
Yeah. I run this house.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm mom and dad, and you will listen to me or you're not getting any allowance money.
Very boss energy. I like it. So let's talk about some of the challenges you might face. You work with a pretty vast group of people, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So do you see any challenges working with that many people?
I think, I've learned to just be grateful and thankful. I think that was my biggest learning curve is I was thinking, these people are feeling some kind of way about me, in a transaction experience, but really they were just defending their client the whole time, and it didn't have anything to do with me. So emotionally inside, I was like, why don't they like me, or why are they angry, or like what's going on? But then it was like they're just working hard for their client, So I was like, oh, makes sense. So now I approach it differently. Like, I'm super grateful for you like showing up. Thanks for showing your client my house. Like, let me know if you have any questions. Just being super aware of their needs on the other side. Yeah.
Sounds like a very personal relationship.
It is with everybody. Yeah, with all the agents, there's like 1,400 in Yellowstone County right now. Yeah.
Pretty.
So trying to be like, who's who? Like, I try to figure out like, who am I working with over here? Like, I want to like scroll and like look up their stuff or.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of research and all.
Yeah, exactly.
So would you say that a realtor, a buyer's realtor and then a seller's realtor, do they kind of, would you say you guys butt heads, or are you guys very cooperative in trying to make a deal?
So it is super nice when you have cooperative, right? Like, that's what I like. That I love team experience. I'm always like, go team. Like, I try to push that energy, so they know that like I'm on that side of like, let's do this and get it done and close it. Like, that's what everybody wants. You do run into people that aren't super nice, and I think that's just in every job,
Yeah.
Like, every job has that aspect of like someone's kind of grumpy, and I still just try to really kill them with kindness. And I mean, I think it works.
It's got to. I mean, it's been a phrase for so long now.
I know.
It works. It really does.
Literally.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about 2025. 2026 is a new year. Last year, how did you kind of see? Let's reflect on that a bit regarding your business.
Last year was like so fast. It flew by so quickly just because I was like overwhelmingly busy. I closed 43 deals, and it fed my soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I loved it so much. And even the hard times were like, it was cool to like overcome those things, So I'm really looking forward to doubling my production, which sounds crazy, but I'm going to close 80 deals. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, we got it on the goal board.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's kind of, I guess, what do you see 2026 at, aside from getting the 80 deals closed?
Yeah.
As far as the market?
Yeah. As far as the market, people have said like last year was the hardest year in real estate, like one of the hardest. I feel like it's all about perspective though, like what makes it hard? Is it because you're not showing up every day? Is it because you're not making the calls, or you're not doing your research, or you're not trying? So I think it really comes down to perspective. Even when it comes to like rates and things like that, it might scare some people away, but people have to move. There's reasons for moving, like jobs and family growing or downsizing. And so real estate's always going to be busy.
Let's talk about a new homeowner who's looking to buy a house. What should they prep to do if they want to sell their house in 2026 or buy a house in 2026?
I think a buyer in 2026, definitely getting in touch with like the right agent, because they're going to be the ones to guide you to even a lender, and to be like, this is like the lenders that I use, check into them and like see your approval or what you need to work on. Some people work on credit or like a down payment assistance program, things like that. For home sellers, it's super important to talk to an agent, because I always have people wanting to update and stuff, and it's like, don't do that, because you're going to put, so much money into it. You don't want to replace all the windows. Like, you're just not going to get that back. It's not going to make sense at the end of the day. So I think it's important to make sure that you're having an agent walk through and at least be like, these are the things that I see that could be adjusted for the most value.
Right. That makes the most sense. The ROI.
Right.
To get the money back.
Right.
Right. So what's one step that we can take today to buy a house?
Talk to me.
Yeah. Start with a phone call. See where you're at.
Call me.
Yeah.
One step to buy a house.
Yeah. Let's focus on buying a house.
Yeah. One step to buy a house. I would just say, getting your finances together. That's probably the biggest thing. You want to make sure you've been employed for so long, or if you're self-employed, sometimes it takes longer, or being creative and doing like a bank statement loan, getting in touch with your agent again to talk with the lender about what your options are and what that could look like for you.
Sounds like just reaching out to Brenda.
Yeah,
Reach out to
absolutely.
Brenda. Talk to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She'll guide you. So what's the biggest mistake that people make during the home buying process?
I think the biggest mistake, could be just like getting super emotional or having like really high expectations. Like you're going to get $30,000 off the asking price. Please don't make me write that offer. Like, I don't want to hurt that like other client or the client and their agent because that agent has to present that offer and it doesn't have a good feeling in your heart, So I think it's just, the super high expectations of what price point could look like, for sure.
Yeah, no one likes getting lowballed.
I know, nobody likes that.
Yeah, pretty brutal. What do people underestimate?
I think they underestimate their agent, honestly. Like, people think that we don't work. I think some people think that we don't work, right? They're just like, oh my gosh, they have the easiest job. They get to show houses and they get paid thousands of dollars. It's like, that is not how that works, girl. I crashed out like 5 times today already. So it's like I'm emotional through the whole process trying to keep it in, And we do put in a lot of footwork and we miss out on a lot of things with our kids and our family and, just attending late night events or, just being there for your client when they are available to go look at homes, which is usually in the evening and after work. And that's when you're typically with your kids. So we do sacrifice a lot. Buyer's agents sacrifice a lot. So it's really important to keep that in mind.
Yeah. They're human just as
they are.
Anyone else
yes,
is,
Exactly.
Yeah. And I know when I was working with my realtor, working a day job, he would always be there in the evening.
Yeah.
Always have like something going on because I'm tearing apart from his family, I'm like, hey, come check this out. Yeah. A lot of realtors kind of stick to a particular niche, like luxury homes, land, or like farms and ranches, for example. Right. What is your niche?
I feel like I service everybody, and just like cutting hair, you're going to cut anyone's hair when they walk in the building. So I've had a $12,000 listing, a trailer, and I worked that thing actually probably harder than most listings because a lot of people didn't have representation and I needed to show it every time. And it was on the market for a while. So I feel like I'd show up for a $12,000 trailer just like I would $1 million listing every day.
I love it. That's awesome. So Billings is growing so much. Right. What is it in Billings that makes it so attractive to people?
I think it possibly is the community, right? Like we are such a great community. We are so close and everyone kind of knows each other and helps each other out and supports each other's business, and wants everyone to win. So that's probably one of the main things. I feel like a lot of people retire here too. It's just a quiet community, a good community. And a lot of families are here. It's a good place to raise kids too and just very family oriented.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% wholeheartedly. Billings is very much a local business kind of icon. We support our local businesses here.
Definitely.
Awesome. What's something that you would like our listeners to know?
I'd like you to know that you can use me for all your real estate needs. But no, yeah, we're all humans. Like we understand, that you have a family too and all the things that you have to go through, but understanding that we have families as well and personal lives and we're all just trying to make it work, even the agents on the other side of our deals, like we all want it to work at the end of the day. We all want to get along and close deals and, make friends. Like whoever has the most friends wins.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I think of it as like a popularity contest almost.
Absolutely.
And you feel the work,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy most about being in the Billings community?
I grew up here, so it's like just so familiar. It's comfortable. It's something I know. And then just being in hair so long, I have a lot of following from that. So I just think that we are a really good community for how big we've gotten. Yeah. Everyone's still kind and close, and we all try to help each other. And the community does come together when there's crisis. So, yeah, I love that.
It is really cool for how much it's growing in these past couple of years, but still have like a hometown vibe to it.
Yes, absolutely. Because it feels small town.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who've been here a while and haven't seen all the new development buildings that they're putting up.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you if they need to reach out.
Yeah. So my Facebook, obviously, you can get on there and message me anytime. But my phone number, of course, 406-200-3198. So that's my main point of contact, texting and calling. Call me. Seriously.
Give her a call, send her a text, give her an email. You guys will get coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Brenda.
Thank you for having me, Mark. I appreciate you guys.